Hi, everyone, and welcome. This is Naim, wedding celebrant and MC, and this is the Paris Wedding Show, where it is my job to introduce to you some of the best wedding vendors in Paris and in France. Let's get right into it. Anastasia, welcome to the show.
Hello, thank you so much, Naim, for inviting me. It's a pleasure.
I know that you've been doing podcasts in the past. We just talked about it, so you're very used to the show and the analytics. So I'm not gonna go through my explanation as always. What is a podcast? Why are we doing this? We've been through this, so thank you for making the time today from Lisbon, Portugal. Right?
Yes, hello
This
from
is
old Lisbon.
cold Lisbon. Oh, okay. This is not common in November. So, first of all, do you want, as always, to introduce yourself and talk to our audience about who you are a little bit to get to
Sure,
know you?
sure, with pleasure. So, hello everyone again. My name is Anastasia. I'm a wedding planner and founder of Dream Weddings Europe and Dream Weddings France as well.
As well.
Yeah, so we have basically two websites. One is for the whole Europe and one just for France. I'm a wedding planner already for 12 years. Oh my God. Still can't believe that. It's almost the same age as my daughter, which is so it's easy to count, you know.
Absolutely.
I'm based in Portugal, but my company for the first years was established like how can I say legally in
Hmm.
France in Toulouse because I had a partner. She was French. She is still French, but now I'm continuing without her. So yeah, was. And after several years running business in France, we realized that it's very expensive. So we moved the business legally to Portugal. So now the company is Portuguese. And I'm very happy about it because it's cheaper.
Yes.
And
Better tax.
yeah, of course, because of the taxes and all
The
these,
lifestyle and yeah,
yeah,
I've heard a lot about that.
accountants and stuff.
Yeah.
But yeah, I'm still, even without her, I'm still doing weddings in France and Italy and Greece and obviously Portugal because I'm here. Um, yeah, so during all these years, we've got a lot of different clients from all over the world with different cultural and religious backgrounds. So our experience is, I would say, unlimited, probably. I can't even remember a country that never exists in our wedding stories. It
Wow.
looked like people were really coming from everywhere. And sometimes this is like a couple is living in the US, but she is Korean, he
Of
is
course.
Nigerian. And so yeah, the stories are super different, and this is very exciting, of course. Yeah, so more or less like that. Our company is quite small, but known, especially in Portugal, of course. And we have a very interesting multilingual team. My girls speak English, obviously, Portuguese, French, Italian, Spanish, and even Arabic.
Arabic as well, of
Yeah.
course. It's a big market.
So, yeah, that's all very, very cool, I think.
This sounds very good. And multilingual is also a big asset in 2024 and 25 and 6 and beyond.
And forever.
The world, I'm sure you agree with that. The fact that the world is getting smaller right now
Mhm.
with all the, well, I mean, it's easy to fly to Europe, first of all, but also culturally, thanks to the internet or because of the internet. We had a very, very smaller world now, and people getting married from different cultural background, like you mentioned, is getting like more and more and more. It's a
Absolutely.
trend. Let's say it like that. So, well, it
I
seems like,
think
yeah. Go ahead.
I think they all do it because they want to have beautiful kids. Because then you've seen those couples, then their kids are just insanely beautiful.
Yeah, out of this world. This is true. I'm sure that you're still following your client on Instagram and you see them
Absolutely.
growing and celebrating this. You have much more time in the business than me, so this is something that I realized. And yeah, when you see family growing, usually beautiful kids come from different cultures. So I agree. Um, Anastasia, you've been planning weddings since a decade.
Yeah,
That sounds crazy.
I know.
What and also what sounds a bit crazier too is that you say it like as if it was easy. So what started it? How was the start? You want to go through the journey where you started?
Well, that's actually a fun story. How it started. I never thought about wedding planning in my life. I was actually, so 12 years ago, I was an owner of a small travel company.
Mm-hmm.
And it was all okay, it was all fine, but I started exploring more partners around Europe, especially, and actually met Catherine, that lady who was with me in the beginning, so the French one.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, yeah, so we met through the travel industry because she was like she was promoting to me the services of her company in Toulouse for
Mm-hmm.
corporate clients.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually a little bit of weddings because in those years it was really a beginning of the destination weddings era. It was not so popular yet, but just becoming
Starting.
interesting, yeah, for some people. So she was also like, "Yeah, we can help you, like in Toulouse in south of France, etc." And then also my best friend, actually, she started doing, she was working like in the big company. They were doing sort of exhibitions and this kind of things
Mm-hmm.
organized. And she was like, she was talking to me saying that they want to organize a very big wedding fair, like wedding exhibition.
I see.
And then she was like, "Oh, actually, maybe you can promote Portugal, like for destination weddings." I'm like,
Wow.
"An interesting idea. Why not? Maybe I really can because I loved Portugal always." And at that moment, yeah, I started thinking like, "Oh, it could be actually beautiful for weddings, not only for Portuguese people, but yeah, for someone else." And it's at that moment, it also sounded like a unique idea because Portugal was not so famous like France or Italy. And so, after all, I agreed with her. I started doing this. I'm like, yeah, maybe I should create a website and start to really make it. So, after all, the exhibition didn't happen,
Mm-hmm.
but my business happened.
I see.
Yeah, so that was the start.
That was the start. It often starts. I mean, I've been interviewing many
Mhm.
wedding vendors now in the podcast and out like on the events, on the live events that I've been working. And it feels like this is something that happens a lot. Like people were not expecting to end up in the wedding business, and
And I,
suddenly, like out of nowhere, they had an opportunity that I mean I had the same story almost.
Mhm.
I've been working in the hospitality and restoration before, and in the restaurant world, and there was this opportunity out of nowhere coming from wedding vendors who actually trained me and told me about celebrants and MC and all these things coming. Feels like it's the wedding comes to you. You're not going to the wedding industry. Do you agree?
Yeah, 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 I agree. And it's very interesting.
It's crazy. So 2012, 2012, you're starting your business. You decide to go all in, I guess.
Mhm.
And what happened then?
Well, yeah. So first I was just thinking about Portugal. Then I told this idea to Catherine, that French girl. She's like, oh, yeah, that's cool. Let's do Portugal and France. And then, oh, let's do it all together. And let's do not just Dream Weddings Portugal or Dream Weddings France. Let's do Dream Weddings Europe, you know? And it's like year by year, of course, we got more and more clients. I was more for English speaking couples, and she was more for French speaking couples because French speaking couples also love to travel for weddings
Uh-huh.
quite a lot. Yeah, so they were coming to Portugal and they were coming to Greece or Italy. So yeah, with even with French speaking couples, we went to different places. Yeah, and then year by year, then Catherine, around, I think it was before COVID, she got a baby, so she started getting busy. She was like, oh, I probably don't want to do the wedding planning anymore. Maybe I will focus on my family. I was like, okay, fine, I'll do it alone.
So you started to do it on your own.
Yes, yes.
And I mean, I know what it is to be a wedding planner. I'm not a wedding planner for that reason, because I know that it's a very, very hard job. How do you manage all this, especially for two countries at this time? How did you manage day by day, hour by hour?
Well, first of all, it's funny that every single wedding vendor says, no, I don't want to be a wedding planner. It's crazy. I don't know, guys, how you live. Like, no,
Do you
no,
realize that people say that? Yeah.
absolutely. Like everybody really, it's at least in my circle,
Uh huh.
like all of them, they're like, oh my gosh, you are crazy, guys.
I
No,
mean,
wedding planning is hard. Yeah, and I agree with them, actually. But well,
I thought you would say no. It's easy for me. I'll do it.
it's not an easy job.
It's not.
I
A lot of
think
pressure.
it's like yeah, it's like how it's like being a doctor. You should be born for it, I guess.
Yes,
You
definitely.
know, because of probably that heavy responsibility that we carry
A lot.
because yeah, like while the other vendors, they just take a responsibility on their small part, and we as planners, we are responsible for all of you guys, so
Yes.
not just for our service but for yours as well. And yeah, this is definitely not easy. But then what, sorry, I forgot the question that
So how did you manage the day-to-day
how I meant
pressure like this?
exactly. Uh, well, nowadays, I have a team
Mm-hmm.
which is great. So I have two ladies who are working as wedding planners actually for me. So I'm supervising everything from the top. I supervising the company in general.
Mm-hmm.
I am the responsible for the visual part because of course it's yeah like my baby, so all the social media, all the creative process and website and how our company is represented.
Of
uh,
course.
yeah, and the girls, they are exactly doing the planning job.
Mm-hmm.
So of course it took a lot from my shoulders, and now I feel more free with them. I'm able more to take care of the company in general.
What do you
And
mean? What do you mean taking care of the company? Do you mean growing in different other
yes,
places and
yes,
markets?
of course, it's about growth. It's about education also for my girls. Like we are always, exploring new ways of how we can expand. I'm also taking care a lot of a part of the styling process or design, like people call it in different ways. For me, it's more of the styling.
Uh-huh.
Uh, meaning that's how the event in general will look like. And of course, yeah, following all the trends. They even taking care of the Instagram page. It takes a lot of time.
Oh
Of
yeah. Yes, it
yeah,
does.
so even that and talking to our followers and improving everything as much as possible, and then taxes, then all this kind of accounting
Uh,
things. So it's
sounds
actually,
like a lot of job.
yeah, and then girls were like, so do you feel more free now? I'm like, yeah, maybe feel mentally a bit more free, but I'm always doing something. So
Yeah.
it's like now I'm just laying down on the couch watching Netflix. No,
No, it can't.
not like
It's
this.
a, it's a joke, you know. Everybody thinks that one day, eventually, if you build something, you're gonna end up looking at Netflix. But actually, people on Netflix looking a documentary about you when you succeed. You know, it's the
Yeah.
other way around. So, what about? I just wanted to go back to the styling and design
Mhm.
difference. I think I feel that it's important to you, this distinction. Why would you say that?
Because I I have a my like vision to that topic. I can't say if it's correct or not, but in the wedding industry, yeah, people say wedding design,
Mm-hmm.
wedding styling less times.
Yeah, this is
Usually
true.
they say wedding design. But I don't know, for me, design is still more about um, physically creating something. Like I imagine I can say stationary designer. I can
Mm-hmm.
say fashion designer because these people, yeah, they take just I don't know even how to explain, but it's really
Physical.
yeah, maybe. And it's like a fashion styling for me. So imagine the difference between a fashion stylist and fashion designer,
I
right? It's
see.
clear.
Yes.
Clear the difference. So for me, in the wedding and event industry, what we do, I think we do more styling. So we just take the things that are ready
Mm-hmm.
and put them all together, something like a fashion styling. Yeah, you have different dresses, you have different shoes, bags, etc., and you put it all together to make it look perfect, beautiful, stylish. Yeah, same thing for me in the wedding industry. But yeah, it's not like very important, to be honest. It's just I don't know, the way I think.
The way it is.
Yeah.
And how do you proceed? Because I see, I'm sure that you've seen it as well. Wedding planners, most of the time they struggle to advertise themselves and promote themselves. And I see, for example, you see all of them uh, touching and cleaning the plates of a table, of a big table. You know, like, I mean, this is good all the time. I like it, all of them, but feels like they cannot advertise or show what they do besides that. What do you
Yeah,
think of this?
it's actually a great question. And I was also thinking a lot about that. And it's a point that is difficult. It's really difficult to find a way to show what
Hmm.
you are doing
Yes.
exactly. That's why I'm trying a lot, trying hard to show more backstage. For
Yes.
example, during the wedding day, as much as possible, and showing even what my girls are doing. It's hard because we are always very busy during the day, but I really trying my best. But still, yeah, like showing a picture, like imagine I'm doing, here is my portrait, and
Hmm.
I'm saying I'm a wedding planner. Like, and what? It's just me. It's
Yeah.
just my face. I'm a wedding planner. So what can I show? How can I show my work? Like I'm typing something on the laptop. This is
Mm.
basically a biggest part of my job.
Yeah. No, I
Me and my
understand.
laptop, right? What else? So, yeah, mostly people show this kind of action during the wedding day. Yeah, touching flowers, touching plates, showing yourself staying in the middle of ceremony decorations that are done by the florist
Uh-huh.
and
Yes, yes.
someone else, not even by you. Well, physically done.
Sure.
Yeah. Of course, this was my idea, so I consider it like my creation as well.
Your baby.
Yeah, my bad as
I
well. But
get it.
those all those little details are to be considered always. And yeah, like I believe, like everyone else, I'm exploring as well the other options how to show my job. I don't know. Maybe I'll just establish a live camera near my
Direct that you can connect.
working place that can
I see.
they can film how I'm
I
doing
mean,
my things.
your presentation video on your Instagram, the pin post, if I'm not wrong,
Mm,
I've looked at it and I really loved it. It's amazing. It's I mean, how did you do that? That you had a vision. It feels like now that I get to know you better, it feels
mm,
like you have a very strong character and vision. So you are forcing the world to apply to it. I really like it. I shared this with you. I am the same. And what happened for this? It all started in your head. I'm talking about the presentation video where you're going through the presentation of your company with your two wedding planners that you've been talking about. Where did it start? You start in your head.
yes, yes, of course. It's
Sounds
just
easy.
but it's also the experience.
Hmm.
So, of course, day by day, meeting different people, clients, I mean, yeah, and understanding what they are looking for, what they want. You kind of get an idea of what they want to hear.
Sure.
Yes, so probably it's just based on that.
So you presented your company, then you hired a videographer, and then you shot it, and that's it.
Yeah, we have obviously we have a lot of contacts and a lot of great people who work in the industry. So for us, of course, it's not a big problem. Say like, oh, guys, can you film us?
Of course.
Yes, or while we are talking about ourselves, and then the same people they film the weddings that we plan. So it's like yeah,
Yeah.
combining all parts
Patchwork.
all together. Yeah, and
No, I
that's
really like you. I really enjoyed it and liked it, and I've done many videos like this in the last 2 years, and when I see a good one, I know how to appreciate. So, congratulations.
thank you so
Coming
much.
back to American brides, because this is most of our like clients in destination weddings, they often dream of a Parisian or a Tuscan wedding or a Portugal wedding. What advice would you give them to help them make this a reality? Where to start?
I think well, those can be very different advices because there are, for example, brides and grooms who are for whom it's difficult to choose a location
Yes.
at the country, and we have a lot of those clients. They are like, we like everything. We like Paris. We like south of France. We like Italy. We like Portugal, Spain, Greece. Ah, take us everywhere. But that's definitely impossible.
Yes.
Yes. So, of course, at this moment, we start to explain couples like some pluses and minuses, yeah, of different places and countries because uh, we are actually very transparent and honest, like in our company. That's how I wanted to be since the beginning. And I always tell people that, okay, guys, there are always pluses and minuses. There is no perfection in this world, right?
Absolutely.
So that's what we try to give them, to give an idea what they can meet and where. Like, talking about Portugal, it's hard to have here the dining experience outside, for
Okay.
example, because we have an ocean, and in the evening, even during a hot summer day, we could have like a really chilly weather
Okay.
with a strong cold wind that will affect a lot the comfort, the food, and a
Sure.
lot of different things. Yeah, so we do not recommend this. We also try to explain that in the Mediterranean countries like Italy or Spain or Greece, in summer months can be very hot, like crazy hot. So they also
Absolutely.
have to, yeah, think about it. Or we also explain the budget wise that yeah,
That's
different
important.
countries have different budgets, and France and Italy will be always like Gucci and Louis Vuitton
Yes.
on top of the pricing point for
That's the way it
destination
is.
weddings. Yeah. So this is how we try to help, and it's actually difficult to get ready for that. This means that couples to decide if they can't decide since the beginning, they have to read a lot of information online. But I think they are happy when they meet us and we explain all these things to them because it's fast, easy, and really helpful for them.
Let's talk budgets. How
Mhm.
do you manage brides or couples' expectation when, especially when there's a disconnection between their Pinterest board and what they have in mind, and then the realities of pricing in Europe?
Yeah, first of all, I'm very, very sad that still uh, in the internet, the wrong information exists with prices that are not realistic anymore. I'm
Oh,
so sad when the brides and grooms they read different articles that are completely outdated,
oh,
even
okay,
from the wedding blogs or something. And they
okay,
say that actually in Europe you could have a wedding like 100 people, 30,000 euros, easy
wow,
peasy.
yeah, wow,
But it
good,
doesn't exist anymore. Yeah, it could be in 2017, maybe. You
yeah,
could try, but not now. And of course, when the clients have this idea from the internet, they come to us, say,
of course.
yeah, guys, we have a great budget, let's do it. And then we are like, sorry, but actually you have to twice, you have to have twice more or
Mm-hmm.
triple more to achieve what you, even a simple wedding,
Wow.
they're
So you're
like,
you're the bad news officer.
yes, and that's very sad, of course, because we don't want to say this.
Of course not, but you have to be realistic and tell
Yeah,
the
but
truth.
we have to, because otherwise, I can't believe that there are planners who say, uh, yes, we will do this, but then after all, yeah, at the
Cannot
end of the
deliver.
wedding planning, it's completely different amount of money. Uh, People say they exist, but it's hard to believe because I can't imagine the reason for it to do it. But yeah, that's a big struggle, to be honest. And even on our website, in the blog, we try to write about these new
Mm-hmm.
prices. I even in the beginning of this year, I even pinned an Instagram post about the venues in
Mm-hmm.
Portugal because the prices grew up so high. And I'm like, guys, you are sending us a request with the budget when your budget is just enough to rent the space and nothing else.
Wow.
Yeah,
That's
like,
really bad. So
like what?
what can you do about this? What can we do actually? Give more information
Yes,
or
yes,
yeah.
yes, yes. It's all about information
Mhm.
because it's all comes from the internet. So I don't know, more reels, more posts, more TikTok videos with the real budgets and yeah, real information. Probably that's the only way.
How do you publish content? What do you have a special strategy? Do you have a special, like, I know that people, I've seen it all. People are like posting every day. People are posting on all the platform, the same content. Do you dedicate yourself to do this? Do you have time and energy? I know it's very hard. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. It's super hard. Social media. Um, I am happy that our Instagram page is old enough to not be focused on this kind of things like posting every day or something, because I think it might be useful for the new kind of accounts.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't even know, because I don't know what Instagram algorithms now are up to.
Yeah,
Uh, but for us, I see that it's not so important. So basically, I post whenever I want. Let's say,
that's luxury.
I, yeah, I try to do it at least once a week,
Mm-hmm.
and I feel that it's absolutely fine. I try to do more stories with more, not personal, but kind of human content, you know.
Mm-hmm.
When I see the Instagram accounts of wedding professionals who are just companies without uh, faces behind it,
Mm-hmm.
I think it's so boring.
Yeah. No, I agree. This is
Like completely, yeah.
per.
Because we all human. We
Yeah.
want to see you,
Yeah.
who is there behind all those beautiful pictures and flowers, and
Who is there? Yeah, I know.
we do not need a perfect picture or something. No, we just need to see the reality. So I try to mix it, kind of balance between the reality and beautiful edited content, yeah,
Sure.
from the videographers and photographers. And I think it makes a lot of sense, at least for me. That's what my probably the biggest content idea since the beginning.
Yeah, less is more, seems
Yeah.
like. This is the rule. No, I mean I agree with your the personal thing. This is what I do. This is what we're doing right now. Uh,
Mhm.
I've started this show like I was telling you almost by coincidence. I just wanted to start something and network with people because I didn't know anyone in the French wedding industry. So I
Mhm.
started like this, and I realized that, as I was saying before, the internet is bigger than we think. And when you get some brides telling you, "Oh, I'm from Texas, and I've heard your voice on the show, and me and my husband, we want you to host our
Mhm.
ceremony," you think that's crazy, and you're like, I've done it to do that. That was the objective, to get to know vendors and people, and eventually organically advertise myself. But when you see the result, this is a bit scary in a good way, obviously. So you're like, wow, the world is big. So it's always good to put your head and face. I know some people have a problem with that. I
Mhm.
don't. But yeah, this is a definitely a good thing. When I go into an Instagram, when I don't see a face, I feel that it's just, some tasteless food or anything.
Yeah.
No disrespect to all of these people. I know it's very hard, but yeah, I agree.
But
Um,
for our clients, it's definitely important to,
oh,
not for
100%.
everyone, of course, but for many.
I
I
mean, at the end of the day, like you say, we're all human. This is true. But especially on a wedding, this is very charged emotionally.
Mhm.
So you need to know. I mean, my job, if you put the facts, my job is to read a script.
Yeah,
So anyone can do it, kind of. Yeah.
kind of.
People need to get to know you more and hear your voice, know what you're up to. This is what makes the difference. And it's the same for you. Wedding
Yep.
planning at the end of the day is just getting together. And I mean, obviously, it's more complicated than this, but your personality goes a long way. So, guys
Yeah.
up there listening, go and start creating content showing your face. This will help you.
Yeah, guys, do it. Don't be afraid. Don't be shy.
Oh, there's nothing to
Doesn't
be afraid
matter.
of.
Yeah.
So, Anastasia, you were talking about trends before, and this is not my strength. This is, I mean, I don't want to say it, but maybe because I'm a man, maybe, but
Maybe.
this is the one of my big weaknesses. I'm not scared to say it. How do you find trends? Where do you start? How, I want to pick your brain, and I want you to tell me what does that mean? First of all, a trend. I mean, everybody knows, but let's talk about this. I'm sure it's very
Mhm.
helpful.
Yeah, well, I think it's important to mention that I'm quite addicted to the fashion industry.
Oh,
And yeah, I even studied fashion styling at Condé Nast London.
okay.
And I really love fashion. And wedding business, in terms of the trends, of course, it comes all from the fashion industry. I mean, the idea in general of having trends be um, be interesting, be stylish. Yeah, so it's very much connected. Um, but while in the fashion industry, we have specific faces, brands who provide us with an information, like who are trendsetters. Yeah, let's
Mm-hmm.
say they create those trends. In the wedding industry, it's a bit different, and for me, is always a bit funny to see, like, uh, in my opinion, wedding industry can't predict the trends. So we can't say, like in fashion, that, oh, actually, in spring 2026, this would be fashionable. Yeah,
I
like the
oh
fashion industry does.
yeah.
In the wedding industry, it looks like uh, people, creative people, just doing, trying to go out of the box,
Mm-hmm.
trying to do something
Yeah.
interesting. And then it's like someone sees it, oh, cool. And just people start repeating, repeating, repeating. And it becomes a trend after many other people repeated it.
Mm-hmm.
Do you get what I mean, right?
Absolutely.
So we never can expect some trends. We never know. We just wait for someone to create something new, something interesting.
That's why.
Yeah.
How do you try to pick, like, it's just like a fire, right? Maybe me, I will see it like a big forest fire once the whole Instagram is about it, and then you're the kind of person to just see it when it's just a little match taking
Maybe, maybe.
fire.
What is interesting also, that we will never probably be able to find that first person who
Of course.
created this new interesting thing, because it might just come later from a more famous company,
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
like, and this would become viral or
Yeah.
something.
Yeah.
Yeah, but who did it first, we never know. So how I try to do it, well, first of all, of course, I look at the fashion industry.
Yeah. Seems
And
like you're connected to this industry a lot.
yeah, and for example, now we have this obsession with red and burgundy colors, which are already started to be represented in the wedding setups, in some sort of styling, tables, flowers. Uh, of course, it will be out of style probably closer to summer, so we will never see the real weddings
Mm-hmm.
doing that. Now it's just um, all about editorials, and
Sure.
style shoots. And this is gorgeous. I would love. I was doing even on Instagram the quiz about, like, what kind of trends, guys, you love. And there was such a small amount of people who said that they love this red burgundy trend. I was like, why? I so much
Too bad.
want. to have a wedding with these colors, but probably it will not never happen. Okay. And same thing with the others. Like I try to see what's happening in the world, to see what couples like as well, because it's easy to see.
Oh, no, it's not easy for me.
Yeah, it's not easy for you, but it's easy based on what kind of weddings are promoted by different blogs,
Got
like
it.
how our industry in terms of the style is all about minimalism and creative ways of table setups
I
and
see.
drapings and all this kind of things. They're everywhere. If you could see like these big blogs like The Lane or Wed Vibes, that
Hmm.
is famous now, and others, even Vogue, and of course the brides and bigger magazines. They're all about this kind of minimalism, black and white pictures,
Sure.
some faded, something film. Um, so it's easy to understand what people like because they like it. Yeah, that's why it's trending. And also, then I always try to add something that doesn't exist yet. It could be absolutely different things. Like once, uh, far far enough, many years ago, I was so happy when my couple was able to trust me and let me create a wedding decor based on my original idea that I just saw on the movie.
Uh-huh.
Actually, it's the French movie Beauty and the Beast.
Uh-huh.
You see the one with the blonde girl.
Sure.
Uh, there at the castle of the beast, the decor with flowers, with roses was so gorgeous. So I'm like, I want to create a wedding like this. And this was my big inspiration for a while. And it's like just like that.
Yeah. Sounds easy once again. Just like that.
Just like that.
Not easy. Seems like you have a lot of a big artistic mind too. Very creative.
Yes, I guess.
Yeah. No, I this is a fact. This is what I feel like. So
I try
one of
it.
like you do you advertise as well? Do you post on Pinterest and all these boards? What do you
Uh,
do with this?
Pinterest is really a dark side of social media for me. I mean, I have to do that,
Yeah, you
but
have to.
I'm bored. I understand that I have limits.
So
First of all.
this will be the tagline of your episode, right?
Yes,
Anastasia, Pinterest. I'm bored. You know, like this sounds fashion. I like it.
I'm bored with Pinterest. Yeah, exactly. I know I should start again posting there because I
I
did years
Me
ago. I
too.
have an account, obviously, on Pinterest of Dream Weddings Europe, but I can't find, I don't feel that I could have clients from Pinterest. Probably that's why I don't really pay much attention. I think.
How do you rate that? How like do you have a view of the kind of people who go to Pinterest, or like maybe it will be a short amount of time that people go
I,
there and
I
it's
I don't know, to be honest. I know that a lot of brides and grooms, of course, search for inspiration on
yeah,
Pinterest as we do. It's totally normal. But probably it's somewhere in my mind that I can't imagine that I would search um, for to hire someone who I found on Pinterest. I don't know. It's just not a platform to sell for me.
I see.
It's a platform to show, but not probably sell. So maybe my business idea is not really for Pinterest. I know that TikTok is amazing.
TikTok is
Uh,
crazy. Yeah.
yeah, is an amazing platform, and I try to post something there. but it's difficult. It's definitely
It's a
difficult. However,
full-time job.
yes, it's a full-time job, and even knowing that I post rarely there, I have a couple of videos that are really became viral.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is what is fun is that I never understand. Yeah, and like many other people, like you post something, you think, my God, this is amazing.
And then
Now the whole world will know about us,
yeah.
and then nothing.
And then
Zero.
234 views.
Yes, and then you post something, like,
Yeah.
okay, let's post it.
And
Boring,
boom.
let's post it, and then it's viral, and you're like, how does it work?
No, yeah. I have I'm very interested in social media and all this trend about, marketing and all that. I read a lot about them. I don't know if you know Gary Vaynerchuk, if you heard it. It
No, I
sounds
don't think.
familiar.
Mm-mm.
He's a very good guy from New York. Really like not a guru, this kind of thing. He's
Mhm.
an old guy, older guy now, and he's been building his business, just doing content. Like his dad had a wine. They were coming from the Soviet Union, ex-Soviet Union, and they
Mhm.
immigrated to the States. And they were working on the wine shop, like old school in the 90s. And he started to do email marketing in the
Mm.
days what like everybody was opening emails marketing back then, and he grew his business, his dad's business, for like an insane amount of money. Long story short, this guy now has an agency and he's talking about content a lot, and he's talking about what you say, like the fact that you we don't understand, and it's not the algorithm, it's the people, and but the
I guess.
algorithm now picks up what people want. So now the new way of doing marketing is not just putting an ad about Dream Wedding Europe, it's taking actually 12, 12 pieces of content and then do the ad with the one that goes viral.
Yes, yes,
This is the
totally.
new philosophy. You should go and check Gary Vaynerchuk. I recommend it
Yeah,
to you.
I definitely will. Thank you.
I'll send it to you on email. There's very
Thanks.
good stuff
It's
about
interesting.
content.
Mm.
Um, one of your philosophies in your company is to reflect the couple's shared values in their wedding. That sounds great. I try to do this too, but how do you do it in the
Well, first
reality,
of all,
in the
yeah,
real
first
world?
of all, through their roots.
Hmm.
Because yeah, it's normal nowadays, and it's super cool when people want to highlight their roots. It's fun when a Brazilian guy wearing Indian outfit, riding a horse, like for his Indian
Right.
bride. It's
Amazing.
amazing, right? It's
Yes.
so cool. So of course, through these ways, we try to help them to make it an unforgettable experience, let's say. But then we also go deeper in terms of what they love doing together. Yeah, what's their love story? I don't know. We once had a wedding where all the guests were wearing like elves' ears,
Wow. Amazing.
because it was not a big wedding, but still it was so cool because the bride and groom, they're like all into this world of fairy tales
Fairy
and
tale. Yeah.
Lord of the Rings
I
and
see.
Star Wars and all this stuff. So even in general, the wedding was all about it. But like when even the guests follow, it's becoming even more special and magical. So yeah, just through these things.
I've seen that you were smiling when you were remembering this. Is it something that I feel like that it's something important for you, all that you get, the feedback that you get from your guests, from the bride and groom after the wedding? Is it something that nourish you? Because it looks like it.
Well, that's what we work for. Yeah, like I always say to the couples that, guys, it's your wedding, so we work for getting at the end of everything, getting your words and your guests' words saying how amazing it was, how beautiful, how greatly organized and planned and seamless and etc.
Seamless.
So that's what we want. We are not working just to get a money because it's not enough, unfortunately.
Yeah,
Not
for the time,
okay.
for the hour. Yeah, for the
Yeah,
hours of work in wedding planning sometimes. Yeah,
but yeah, when we receive those kind of words, oh, that's like I can do it again.
I would
So,
love it. What about 2025? Do you have any plans that you want to share? Something in your mind? Any direction?
mm, it's interesting what's going to happen in 2025. I don't know if you felt that, maybe not, but here in Portugal, while we were finalizing all the weddings of this season, at the same time, we were, all of us actually, especially planners,
Hmm.
were quite worried that we do not see enough amount of requests and actually clients for the next year
In Portugal.
in Portugal. And then we've heard that it's not going only in Portugal, that it's really going on all over the world. That venues, like imagine, for example, we have a very famous venue here in Portugal, very big one, that usually hosts around 100 Indian weddings per season.
Hmm.
It's a lot.
That's big.
Yes, that's a very big amount, and the venue is super famous and super big. And when it's like middle of summer, usually it's normal for
Already.
us to be almost fully booked for the next year. It's normal for planners
Hmm.
and for venues.
Okay.
And when that venue told us, like, we have just one Indian wedding
Wow.
booked
Okay.
for next year, we're like, no,
That's
it,
crazy.
yeah, like can't be, we can't believe.
So what happened, do you
And
think?
we were thinking about different things. Maybe that people see how prices are rising up, so they start to considering getting married in their cities, their
Hmm.
countries, but not going far away. We were also thinking about the election in the United States.
I thought about it too.
Yes, so there were a lot of concerns, and uh, different companies did make different steps to kind of improve this situation for
Hmm.
themselves. Some of them even lowered a little bit the prices, which I think I didn't see like for the 10 years.
Yeah, this is
Uh,
crazy.
yeah, so it's interesting what's going to happen next year. In our case, it feels, I would say, not amazing, but okay. We still have a couple of places for next year, and we also still have requests. So
Hmm.
hopefully it's going to be all fine. Well, we just accept 10 weddings per year. So for us, it's not that difficult, maybe if because there are some wedding planners who work, yeah, with 50 weddings per year. That may be a bit more
Wow.
difficult. Yeah,
Yeah.
I know it exists. Uh, yeah, yeah.
Do you select your clients? I mean, I'm sure you accept every request from everyone, but it's kind of a odd conversation to have. But what's
Mhm.
your view on that?
Uh,
You have much more than 10 requests a year. Let's be honest.
of course. But also, we are on the high level of the fee, let's say. Yes.
Hmm.
So a lot of clients, a lot of requests that we have, when they know our fee, they're like, thanks, bye.
Okay.
And that's okay.
Of
The
course.
rest who are fine with our fees, mm, I would say that normally we accept everyone, of course, because also mm, I think that when we get a connection, we always do this video calls, yeah, with
Sure.
clients to understand if we are on the same page. And
That helps a lot.
when we get the connection, it's easy for all of us.
Of course.
Yeah, to just go ahead and it's fine. When we do not get a connection, we also feel it, both of
Of
us,
course. Yeah.
client and us. And we are like, if these people do not come back to us after, we understand why, because we
Sure.
feel kind of the same. Yeah.
Yes.
Then, of course, we could be fully booked. And in
Mm-hmm.
this case, we just say, I'm sorry, unfortunately, yeah, we can't accept more. But then might be some situations, for example, we could say no to some sort of weddings where we do not feel that something goes right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Something is, for example, the expectations are completely unrealistic,
Yeah.
or it's too much into the specific culture that we don't really know.
Okay. I see.
Yeah, like there could be some specific things that if we do not feel kind of confident that we can do this, yeah, maybe we might say that, sorry guys, but probably we are not the best
The best
com-
fit.
for you. Yeah,
Sure.
just that.
And we're about to wrap up. What's the one piece of advice that you would give personally to a bride who is just starting her destination wedding planning journey?
Uh, maybe it would be too obvious, but I'm saying this not for not to advertise my business area or something, but really to help. I think that a good wedding planner, good one, not in terms of pricing or service that company provides, no, like your planner, the person that you will feel since the first moment, and the person, hear me now, the key word, that you can trust fully.
Yeah.
This person will make magic. Like just go and you can first choose a location, of course, or even the venue. But ideally, go and choose first the wedding planner, because, yeah, this will be, let's say, your biggest and the most important decision for the whole wedding.
I fully agree with you. I'm working with couples who are both working with a wedding planner and without. Both
Mhm.
options are fine, obviously. I'm just saying the truth to them because I've been doing many weddings and usually it's their first one. The truth is this: if you don't have a wedding planner who know exactly what they're doing, you're gonna have a lot of working hours,
Yes,
and you don't want to work on your wedding day. That's for sure. Doesn't matter your culture, doesn't matter your nationality, doesn't matter your budget. That's
totally.
not what you want. So I agree. Trust in someone who actually talk to you and that you have a good vibe with. This is definitely a good option.
Yeah.
Anastasia, thank you so much for being here. As always, I'm thanking my guests because if I was on my own on this show, I don't know if anyone will listen to. So,
Thank you so much, Naim. It was really cool to talk to you. It was interesting. And yeah, maybe one day we can repeat and talk about something else.
of course, yeah, yeah, this is not an option for 2024 and 5. I wanted to have repeating guests, so you're invited as well. Anytime you want to talk about something. Do you have something that you want to say to the audience before we wrap up?
I would say thanks to everyone as well if you were listening this episode and yeah, just know, guys, that we work to help you, not to steal your money or something like that. Trust people, and people will do their best.
I agree with the magic word. Um, Obviously, all the links of Anastasia's business, Dream Wedding Europe, and all of them will be in the show notes, guys. You know how it works. So thank you again, Anastasia, and see you probably soon somewhere in Europe. I don't know where.
Thank you so much. Have a great day, everyone.